Good afternoon. I thought it was a good week. I thought we got a lot of good work in. Had a little scrimmage out there with some of our non-travel and depth players, and I think that's good. I think it allows guys like Josh Hicks to get out there and play Rutgers football and prepare them to be a little bit more ready. And if we need to call upon them, questions.
I know it's only been a couple of practices, but what have you seen from Josh at safety?
It's hard to judge it in 3 practices. I will say he's much more comfortable today than he was on Tuesday, which is what I expected. I tried not to be too critical of it the first couple of days. He's still getting his legs under him a little bit, but definitely noticeably more comfortable today than he was on Tuesday. And now when we come back on Sunday, hopefully even more so.
So he'll stay there?
He will. He'll stay there for now.
Now, when you watch the young kids scrimmage, is it still like watching newborn deer run around, or is it?
It's not a bad. It's not a bad description of what it is. You know, there's on offense for sure to try to get all 11 of them working together is not an easy task. So it's a little bit disjointed offensively. Defensively, you can evaluate it one-on-one a little bit better. I thought they played hard. I was pleased about that. I was pleased with their effort. It certainly wasn't clean in any way. A lot of improvement to go, but you know, as long as we can stay healthy enough to continue to do those types of things, it really, over the course of a season, you almost gain an extra spring, you know, with those younger players. And it really, when you start looking down further in their career, you may not think of these days as days that got them to where they are, but they really are.
A few weeks ago, you mentioned the possibility of Kevin Wilkins playing, obviously injured, but how's he been faring thus far?
I think Kevin's doing a good job. I think Kevin's doing a good job for us. Fortunately, we've been able to stay healthy enough up front that we haven't needed him. My hope is that it stays that way, but I don't think you can rule anything out at this point in the year yet.
I know Hester, obviously isn't going to be able to play with the scout team, but what have you seen from him, and how do you feel like he's kind of fit in?
Hey, he's done a nice job. He was the scout team player of the week one week. He's probably deserving of it more than that, but other guys were deserving as well. The most impressive thing to me, and I'll refer back to something I said about Andrew Terzilli, is how he has acclimated himself into the team. Now, maybe a little bit easier on his part because he did go through the recruiting process with us. He did have some relationships with some guys on the team already, maybe more so than Andrew, who had been somewhere else for 4 years. But I still think it's not the easiest situation to be somewhere and then go somewhere else and fit in and acclimate and really be on point. And he's done all those things. I think the football part will take care of itself. I think he's a talented football player.
As you guys get ready to go on the road recruiting this weekend, does it matter that you're 5-1 coming off the Michigan win? Is that a big thing, a small thing?
I think winning always helps. I think it matters. There's no doubt about that. I don't want a recruit to make a decision based on one game. I've said that before, but this is based on 6 games. So I think they have a little bit more of a body of work to look at of what our team is. A lot of these recruits have been to our stadium to experience the game day environment, so they know that being a football player at Rutgers allows you to be a part of one of the great game day environments in all of college football. So I think it does matter.
Then taking that message out for your whole staff this weekend, what does that mean to recruiting efforts, do you think?
I think what it shows recruits is that when they come to Rutgers and you commit to being a player at Rutgers, everything you want as a college football player is available to you. You get to play in one of the premier academic athletic conferences in the country. You get an opportunity to be at one of the top 50 universities in the world. Everything you'd want out of your college experience, you can have it at Rutgers.
Of all the guys who were redshirt, has any really stood out to you and made a lot of strides since the start of the season?
The players who are redshirting?
Yes.
It's a hard question to answer because they don't get extended periods of time to play Rutgers football. They spend a lot of time on the scout team, but I do think we're making progress. I think some of those defensive linemen, guys like Kevin Wilkins and Eric Waif, Jimmy Hogan, I think we're making progress over there on the defensive line. I think we're making progress with some of these young offensive linemen, guys like Zach Heeman and Tariq Cole. I think we're making progress. So, up front is probably where I put a little more of my focus because I think they're the ones who take a little bit longer at times to develop, but I do think we're making significant progress with both of those groups of young linemen.
How important was this week in letting your 2 young quarterbacks actually work on themselves instead of pretending to be, Connor Halliday or whomever?
It's a good week for them. It's one more opportunity to get in the huddle, to show that they can have a presence in the huddle, to command the huddle, to be able to call the play, take it to the line of scrimmage, direct the traffic. it's not a skill that you're born with. It's something you have to develop, and I think this week's been good for both those guys.
I think I probably know the answer to this, but you guys are 5 wins. Does the fact that you're 1 win from bowl eligibility come up at all this week?
No, not to me it doesn't. Not to me it doesn't. I don't know I don't know how it helps you to think about that. You know, we've been to 8 bowl games in the last 9 years. We have an expectation level that's pretty high here, and a system of goals that are a lot of levels. The first one is to get to that 6th game so you're eligible for a bowl, but it's not something we focus on. We've only played half a season. We've got a lot of work still to do. Thank you, guys.